Alright, so in this video we're going to be reviewing the City Vanture by Vanpowers. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get started. So let's take a look at the specs of the Vanpowers City Vanture bike. First of all, what's really unique about this frame is they use an old construction technique called Mortise and Tenon joints. I guess it's the strongest way joints are actually put together when you cut holes that are exactly the right size to fit into each other. Now this technique that is being used has actually made this frame ultra strong, and it also makes it really light. So it's a little unique when you look closely at this frame, you'll see all of these screw joints in certain areas, but what I don't see is weld points. So that's really something pretty cool. And it has over 150,000 tests to test the fatigue and the strength. And it makes this frame really, really light. You have this bike that is uniquely put together. One thing that's really cool about the City Vanture is you can order it in two different ways. You can order it so that the bike is already pre-assembled for you. And at the time of this recording, it looked like it costs about $50 to have most of the bike pre-assembled before it gets to you. Or if you want to put the bike together yourself, bit by bit, piece by piece, you can do that as well and save yourself an extra $50, and you'll get this in a really nice small compact box. All the pieces put together, you'll see how the frame is designed really nicely to just fit perfectly. Now you have your traditional parts, of course, and that is your first, what's powering this bike is a 350 watt motor. This is a city bike, and it is made with so little drag that 350 watt motor is really strong enough to go ahead and move you around the city really quick, because the tires are 700C tires. So there's very little friction against the ground to slow you down. And then you also have a carbon gates belt drive system here. So again, less drag on that. It's very, very quiet. You can actually go almost like 10,000 miles before you actually need to have maintenance. Doesn't use any oil. Very, very whisper quiet when you're riding. Super smooth as well. You will also see on this bike here that there's little drag. You can get up to about 50 miles on a single charge is what Vanpowers is saying on that. Now, of course, that it depends on the rider and the type of riding conditions that you have. Now, with that 50 miles, that is because there's a 36-volt battery with 7 amp hours built into the frame. What's really cool about that as well is you can actually purchase an extra second battery that looks like a water bottle that attaches right to the frame, and you plug it in and set it up on the bike itself. So once the main power battery gets low enough, then the second reserve battery kicks in, which will give you up to 80 miles of range with the two batteries running. It comes with 5 different levels of pedal assist, so you can easily select the level of assist that you want, just going up and down through the levels as you're riding around. This is a bike that if you want to get some exercise, just bring down that pedal assist, or if you want to take it easy and let the bike do a lot of the work, just put it up to level 5. And I just really liked it. Said to be able to go up to 25 miles an hour. Now I, on average, felt it that at about 20 miles an hour is when the bike or the motor actually cut off, and which means anything above the 20 mile an hour mark, it was more or less my own power pushing it. Not that hard to get 25 miles. Of course, with the gearing ratio, it does require you to be pedaling a little faster to get that kind of speed. Along with the 20 mile an hour, if you need to brake fast, the cool thing about this bike as well, which you don't really see that often in these type of road bikes, is hydraulic brakes. The Tektros worked fantastic. In fact, it was so nice and soft that even the brake levers are only 2 to 3 finger brake levers, so you don't have a full brake lever in your way, because that's all you really need. It's really just very comfortable, very well designed, and how they made this braking system with the hydraulic brakes and be able to stop you very quickly. With the bike weighing only about 35 pounds, it's easy for anybody who lives in maybe a short walk up a stairs to be able to carry this bike up into their apartments if they need to, or condos. So you have the ability with a bike like this to bring it into the house because it's so light. This is just a bike that is really sleek and thin, and for the most part, when looking at it, is also very stealth. It's one of these bikes that's going to be very hard to tell that you're riding an electric bike. It even has a freewheel sound that's with a really nice, small, sleek display that doesn't blaring like the size of a cell phone, but it is bright, so you can see it even in midday. What's really nice about this bike as well that turns heads is the different styles and colors that they have. And you have 5 different colors to choose from. They have like really cool designs that you can see here. This bike doesn't look like an electric bike at all. It's really stealth, and with the class 1 setting that it does not come with a throttle on this bike, so it is a true class 1. So looking at the front of the bike here, you have a rigid fork. There is a quick release on here, but it is a through axle quick release, so this is a lot safer to have a quick release that you would have to. It takes a little longer, it's not as quick, but nonetheless you can actually take off the front wheel. The frame is actually made out of aluminum alloy, and the seat itself, it's a Pro Max seat. It's actually not that bad. You probably want to go ahead and switch out this seat. You're gonna have to get a little used to it because it is a sporty type seat. This bike actually is IP66 waterproof rated, which means that you can actually ride this in drizzle or light rain. It's also rated to be able to carry riders up to 265 pounds or 120 kilograms. It also uses the cadence sensor. The recommended riding height is between 5 foot 8 inches to 6 foot 3 inches. But keep in mind, I am only 5 foot 5 inches, and as you can see when I'm riding it, I don't really have a problem riding a bike like this. I like getting full leg extension, and the only issue that I would say is when you do come to stops, the frame standover height is 31.9, so almost 32 inches tall. So I do have to lean a little so I don't have issues with the frame actually being very uncomfortable between my legs. Thank you so much to Vanpowers for sending out this City Vanture bike for review. I want to thank you guys too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are interested in looking at one of the Vanpowers bikes, or the City Vanture bikes, or any of the other bikes that Vanpowers carries, be sure to look at the link below at ebikeproducts.com/Vanpowers. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.